I'm going to show you how to prevent electrical problems in your car using grease. Now normally you're not going to think that grease and electricity go together, but this is a very special kind of grease. Now these two tubes contain the same stuff, but this one explains it better, so I'll show you on the label. It's actually a type of silicone lubricant called Dielectric Grease. And as you can see, it's clear. It conducts electricity really well, and it stops corrosion and lubricates at the same time. So if you put it on electrical connections, it'll keep water from getting in, and it'll keep it from corroding, plus let it conduct the electricity better. Now here's an alternator. These are the wires that help power the alternator. You put a little dielectric grease on the connector, you just squeeze a little bit on, and then when you plug it back in, you don't have to worry about corrosion. Now since this Honda uses a computer to operate the charging system, there's not much power on those little wires, so any corrosion can make them work poorly. With this on, it won't corrode, because if you get even the tiniest amount of corrosion on those small wires, it can ruin the wiring, short out the alternator. And another use is on your spark plug wires. You stick it on the inside of the wire where it plugs on the spark plug, then it'll conduct electricity better and won't build up corrosion like it will if it's just bare metal. All that electricity can cause arcing, which will corrode the metal, but with this on, there won't be any corrosion, the electricity flows smoothly, and you'll have no problems. And another use is for light bulbs. When we go to the back, where the light bulb plugs in, you put the grease here because they get awful hot on these modern high-intensity light bulbs. Over the years, I've had to replace lots of connectors, and sometimes even the whole headlight assembly. It gets so hot from the heat that it melts stuff. When you put this on, you won't get that heat because there won't be corrosion, and the corrosion won't be able to make the wires hot. And when you get lower down, lights that are down low that water splashes from the tires all the time, you put them on the connectors there, it'll keep the water from intruding and corroding the wires. And if you look at these battery terminals, you'll see they're nice and clean with no acid corrosion. And that's because when I change batteries, I take the terminals off, clean them, then put dielectric grease on the terminals, put them back on to make them tight. That keeps the acid from getting onto the metal and eating it up and making all those horrible, messy acid plumes you see on batteries. And if you're changing any light bulbs, turn signal, brake lights, where the electrical connections are, put a little of the grease on them before you plug them in, then they won't corrode and they'll last a lot longer. And let's say you're replacing the blower motor in your air conditioner. They got electrical connections. You put the dielectric grease on them before you snap them on, then they won't get hot. I've seen a lot of them melt too. When you put this on, it'll make them work good and they won't melt anymore. So you might not have been thinking about grease when you're working on electricity of your car, but now you know how it can save you a lot of money in the long run. Remember, if your car has any problems, just visit the Scotty Kilmer channel before it's too late.